Alright, it's Monday. I'm in the Woodlands, so it's time for Monday in the Woodlands. I didn't record this one live because I don't like the format when I do them live. I got the box thing, so I'm just gonna talk just like it's live. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you had a good Mother's Day to all the moms out there. If you weren't told, Happy Mother's Day. You've got some terrible kids. Anyway, Happy Mother's Day. I hope you ladies had a great day. Okay, so last week I talked to Dr. Steve. He asked me, he said, "Hey, how's your marriage doing?" And I said, "That's none of your business." And he said, "Well, actually, it is my business because I'm your therapist." I was like, "Gotcha." So I just kind of told him how we were doing, and Ashley and I were doing really well right now, and we got to talking about our little counseling week that we did in Austin back in January. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that today. So this is going to kind of be not specifically just about marriage, because if you're not married or you're going to be married or you're thinking about marriage, what I'm going to share today, I really do believe it can help. Okay. So we went to this place called the Relational Care Network, I think is what it's called, Relational Care Counseling, something. I'll get you the name of that later. Relational Care. It's in Austin, and it's a 6-day retreat where we got into some serious counseling. First 2 days, just Ashley and myself with a counselor named Steve. Not the same Dr. Steve. Here's another Dr. Steve. He was good too. And then the other 4 days we spent at a retreat center out on Lake Travis with 3 other couples. So if the 3 other couples are watching this right now, what's up? My wife's been talking to y'all on that Marco Polo deal. Don't even get me started on that app. But here's the one thing that we learned, and this is what I wanted to share with you today that I think has really changed our marriage. The thing they taught us is part of our responsibility in a marriage, like my responsibility as a husband, a significant amount of my time and energy needs to be spent on helping Ashley heal from her hurts and not feel like she's lonely. I was unaware of that. In fact, the more we learned that week, the more I just thought, what have I been doing the last 19 years? Well, for the most part, being pretty selfish and trying to get my needs met, and trying to win arguments, and trying to do as little as I can around the house. Those kind of things. That's what I've been doing the last 19 years. But when posed with this question, are you taking care of your wife's hurts? And is she being understood? And are you making sure that she's not lonely? I gave myself a big fat F on that. But think about it for a second. Just think about this for a second. Think about your own self and how long you've carried around certain hurts, whether it was something in childhood, something someone said. I've shared a little bit of that before. Maybe it's some previous relationship that just ended terribly. Maybe you had an absent father, absent mother. I don't know. Just think about the hurts that you bring into relationships. And then think about the hurts that relationship itself causes, right? That person who, after we walked down the aisle and we gave each other's rings and we slammed cake in each other's face and we went on a honeymoon and did that stuff, and then we got back to the real world, and before you know it, the other person's hurt you. They've said something, they've done something, they've ignored you, they've not included you, and then there you are, you find yourself feeling lonely all over again, just like you did when you were a kid, just like you did when you were a teenager, in college, just lonely. And before I know it, that's what I'm doing to my spouse. The same exact thing. And so for 19 years, there's just these hurts that have never been cared for. And that was the first week where I could truly say I really began to understand and to know and to truly care for my wife. And that just sounds ridiculous that it took 19 years, but I'm guessing there's probably several of you maybe in the same boat. And I just want to encourage you today. I want to give you some encouragement that even after almost 19 years, you can start like now. Ashley and I have had the most stressful year of our lives, starting in January, or starting even before. This has been an extremely stressful year from the time the hurricane came through. But I believe we care for each other better right now than we ever have. Even in all the good times where things seemed to be going well. And so I want to challenge you to begin to care for your spouse or your friends even. This doesn't have to be just about marriage, but we've got to care for our friends so that they don't feel like they are lonely. Because loneliness is what brings about so much hurt, so much shame. And you can't dig out of that by yourself. You just can't dig out of it by yourself. So I'm going to get more into this. There's just a lot to it, and just keeping it under 7 or 8 minutes is difficult. I wanted to... It's sponsored. I don't know. They've not called me yet. This book, this is what Ashley and I... We didn't go through this book in our counseling, but this is the book that a lot of the stuff is based off of. It's got a kind of racy title. Intimate Encounters. Anyway, look it up. It's by a guy named, where's his name is? David Ferguson. David Ferguson. Intimate Encounters, David Ferguson. You're going to want to check that book out. It's a much slower way to do what we did in about a week. Also, some of you have been asking about the rewiring your brain thing. Well, here's the book that's actually called Rewire Your Brain. This is it right here. It's by a guy named John Arden, PhD. He seems like a nice fella. This is a great starter book if you're interested in the whole idea that you can actually rewire your brain. I got so much more to talk about, but I'm out of time. Next week, I'm going to tell you a little bit about... there goes some kids. Next week, I'm going to tell you a little bit about kind of what I'm going to be doing with this message, just besides the Mondays. And I'm excited about telling you about that. Hope you guys have a great week. Get yourself to a counselor. Get yourself some help. You don't have to live like this. There's hope. You can start over, especially in your relationships. Thanks. Bye.